Happy 2025, Happy New Year, and welcome to the energy update of January. This is an Akashic energy update, and it's a special one for me because literally 1 year ago, after a lot of nudging from the Akashic records, I decided to finally do it. And January 2024 was my first online energy update. And now we're a year further, and it's been such a incredible year. I'm so happy that I did it. I don't know why I had resistance, but I had a lot of resistance. And it's for me just a testament of following these nudges, like these somehow life or your mind or intuition or whatever have you is constantly pushing you somewhere. And you're like, no, nobody is waiting for that. No, whatever reason you have in your mind, there is a million reasons why your mind can come up why it's not a good idea. And it definitely happened for me. It took me, I think, 2 months of knowing that I was supposed to do it to actually producing it and doing it. But still, now I see on the other side how much beautiful souls I have met by committing to this. What an impact I was able to have, even though, like, when it comes to my YouTube channel, I'm still very small. It doesn't matter the numbers. It really matters that I see you in the comments being truly touched. Or when I book a call with you and I see how much these videos meant. I could have never thought of the beautiful love that I received back from doing this. And that's for me just only knowing now that I can do this more and more and more. Follow these nudges, follow these spontaneous thoughts, especially the thoughts where your mind after that is trying to convince you it's not a good idea. These thoughts, go for it, go for it. It's definitely worth it all. And to nuance it a little bit more, because there's many thoughts in our minds flying around. If there is a thought that feels really as an expansion in your heart, as an expansion in your gut, and your mind is constantly nudging it, like, hey, you should really do this. Hey, you should really think about this. Hey, you should really think about this. Go for it. Let make this year a year where you go for it. And thank me next year, January 2026. So, yeah, I want to thank you for your support, for your interaction, for your willingness to already be ready for these frequencies. This is going to be the energy update of 2025, of January 2025. Now, if you want to have a full update of 2025, I did a live call the 27th of December, and the link will be in the description below because the replay will be available for a little bit longer. So you can press the link below if you want to have that full ceremony that we did live together. This is going to tune in specifically in the month of January 2025. This is an energy transmission. So this comes not only into voice, but also as an energy, and there might be a lot of things shifting inside of you. So it's really nice to get comfortable for the next half an hour and to just receive this and see what resonates with you and what it does with your system. Instead of just kind of actively watching it, I rather have you relaxing and receiving this transmission. It will have the best effect. So it's kind of a meditative experience. Feel free to relax and sit back and listen with your whole body. Without any further ado, I wish you an incredible energy update journey of January 2025. Much love. Happy 2025, dear beautiful beings. Thank you so much for tuning in to the January 2025 update here, straight from the Akashic records. We see a lot of things are shifting on your planet. We already gave a 2025 ceremony where we had quite a beautiful transmission that will show you an overview of the energies that are present. Now, the year will fully kick off in February and March. Especially March is going to be the month where most energy will kick in, and you will be able to completely move into your new self in March. Up until that time, even though you will feel the potential of 2025 already in the air, not all gears are in place to fully start the engine. And so, what can you do in the meantime? What can you do in January to make the best out of these times? Many of you don't even really feel it's 2025 yet. And this day, January, came rather quickly. In your feeling and in your energy, it still feels like it's November. And that is true. From the energy perspective, it is still November or early December. It will take a little bit longer before you will truly feel that 2025 is kicking in. So do not neglect those feelings. Do not neglect that there is anything in the air that's not supposed to be there, or that your sense of time is off. It's way more accurately than you believe it to be. So stay with your intuition. Let yourself be listening and be guided by your intuition. Your intuition is always right. Yes, the mind will say differently and will not believe that, but most of the time this very first inkling, this knowing that comes to you, this feeling that is somehow present on the background, is always right. You're all more sensitive than some of you admit to be. And this sensitivity can be expressed in a myriad of different ways. Some through knowing, some through listening, some through observing. Some just feel certain energy currents on or off based on the situation. These sensations can be small in you if you never trained your intuition before, but they will be there and they will be amplified compared to previous years. So listen to your intuition. And for most of you that are tuning in here, you will know that your intuition is still asking you to take some rest, to take some time to reflect more deeply on what is happening with your life, to take some time to fully arrive inside of the here and now. This has been a year of turbulence, and out of turbulence you cannot immediately kickstart your next year. You first need a little bit of grounding, a little bit of readjustment. Your system needs to realize, okay, this is where I am now, and take a couple of deep breaths before it can kick into the next version of itself. This next version will completely appear in March. You will have the clarity in March as well. And some of you might feel rather confused right now and have no clue what to do and have no clue where you are and where you need to go. You don't have to know at this moment. But for all of you that feel like this, it is really good to not seek the answers outside of you any longer. because that guru would say you need to start an online social media business, and the other guru says you need to start an Amazon drop shipping business and whatever have you. There's so many voices screaming in your digital field, but the only voice that truly matters is your inner voice. The only voice that truly matters is the voice that you hear when it is silent, when you are feeling stable. The voice cannot even be heard when the mind is racing and stressing and wanting. The mind needs to feel a certain level of safety and surrender until the voice can be hearable. It's a different brainwave state. It's literally a different gear in the mental gearbox. So, let January, and especially these first couple of days, be days where you respect your intuition. And if your intuition feels like you really need some rest, you really need some reflection, or you really need to be with some people you feel comfortable and safe with, please do so. Let that be your guiding light. You don't have to let your life be a reflection of the fireworks that go up in the air. Bam! New year, it's new you, time to shine. No. For the new you to truly shine, it needs a little while. The seeds need to be planted until something starts growing. Let this be a time of reflections, of stabilization. Let this be a time where you earth yourself in such a way, really, you can imagine that you're putting your feet on the ground and your feet are feeling the earth and are really earthing themselves. And if it helps, and if you have a visual or an imaginative mind, you can even let roots grow out of your feet and grow out of your legs into the earth, even further grounding you. And until these roots start to fully tap into the resources of the earth, only then you can embody the new you from a stable place, from a long-lasting place. You can try all you want without earthing yourself, but it will fall. The plant will go through quickly without any stability and it will fall over. It can never become a big tree like that. Let January be the month of earth. Let January be the month of finding a new level of stability. And let January be a month where you don't need to already start anything new. Take a big deep breath into that. If there was any weight of your shoulders, of you somehow needing to know, somehow needing to start something, nope. You can let that weight go. You can still be yourself. Even when it comes to resolutions. First reflect a little bit. First go a little bit and find some you time. Find some time where you are with yourself and truly ask the important questions. What happened in 2024? What were some lessons that I was learning? If I compare myself at the beginning of 2024 to the version of me that is right now sitting here, what has changed? And how can I fully receive and integrate this change? Take a couple of moments with these questions and you will know that a new light will be shined on 2024. Now, another thing that has been happening in the last years is that your life has become a testament of what seems to be truly working for you and what not seems to be truly working for you. So you might add to the previous questions, what do I know now that is working for me in my life? And what do I for certain know now that is not working well in my life? No judgment there, but it's really good to take stock. For example, if you have been trying to make something happen and it was constantly not being able to put off the ground, and you have spent so much energy in that zone of it needs to happen, somehow I will find a way, and every time life puts you back into the 0 point. There is a lesson right there. Something in your approach is not working. It's not aligned with nature, because nature will always grow. Nature will always find a very beautiful, harmonious way to grow. And you have that nature inside of you too. You're completely made by it. What is so beautiful about you and every other human being is that there is quite a miracle happening in each one of you. There is nature, the nature that you see all around. You see it in the intelligences of your plants, of the mushrooms, of the fruits, of the trees. It is always growing, it's always reproducing, and if you let it be, it will grow into infinity. But there is something special in you too, and that is a beautiful, unique light, a presence that can shine through, a presence that makes you typical you. So you have your human nature and you have your light presence, which can also be called radiance. When you find inside of yourself your human nature growing naturally and the unique frequency of your radiance, and you're able to blend them into one, you will have found your sweet spot in life. You will have found your sweet spot into this earth and what you are here to do. It is always found by observing yourself rather than trying and trying and trying again. Yes, some have tried and tried and tried again and have stumbled upon something that really works for them. Amazing. We do not say stop trying altogether, but we say the message was always hidden in plain sight. And these people that tried many times could also just have stopped, look inward, observed themselves, and found what they have been trying to find moments and probably years earlier. It's already here. The codes, the frequencies, your unique blend, your unique gifts, your services. It's already here. What makes you vital is already here. What makes you feel successful, which can be very different from outward looking success and what the collective sees as success, what makes you feel successful is already inside of you. It is for every one of you a unique path that sometimes needs to stray off the main roads. And you, as an observer, are able to notice these paths. Therefore, January is an invitation. The invitation to ground, the invitation to observe, the invitation to feel already the substance of 2025, and at the same time letting yourself have the time to let all the gears naturally move into place. You do not need to do anything for it. If you let it happen, it will happen. If you try to force yourself, that frequency is going to be harder and harder to contain in 2025 and onward. You will notice that some of your old methods, even though they feel safe to you in some way, will not work anymore. When you focus, therefore, more on the observing part of your being, you will quickly notice that. When you not focus on the observer part, you will maybe notice that after 4 or 5 months. But after 5 months, it's already June. You could have noticed that this month in January. And that's what we wish for all. We intend and allow and send all the codes and frequencies for you to observe with great clarity, to accept your full being with great love, to embrace all of your parts in equal nourishment. In doing so, in letting all the pressure that you perceive to be just fall off you, and just being with yourself, asking these questions, you will ground. And from the place of grounding, you will blossom. Therefore, we see in your collective that there will be a great difference between the people that will just continue with their lives in January, or even the people that really want to start something new in January, and they will try, and the people that just feel what is present in their system and base their life on that information. Now, some of you that are listening, that you are ready. You are ready for something new. It is the time, and you want to use the momentum that 2025 brings immediately, and we understand. But that is around 15 to 20% of all that are tuning into this message. So, if you really feel it, then observe it, feel it, and go for it. We do not say that everyone should go in reflection, but we say that everyone needs to observe what their body and their energy is telling them. And if that message is go for it, then jump and go and step into it with both legs. But for most of you, the message will be rest, reflect, and stabilize. And this message is meant for the people that feel bad about thinking these thoughts. You are not broken. Let yourself rest. Get a journal. Start writing everything that's on your mind. make sure 2024 is well integrated before you start making plans for 2025. Make sure that if there is chaos and unclarity, to take some time with yourself to become clear of what truly feels aligned in your heart. Whenever you do this, you will notice life forces coming back at you. Even if you feel depleted right now, depressed, and have no clue how to navigate this weird and highly energetic shifts and changes that are just increasing in speed. And even when we say these are increasing, you're like, oh no, I have no clue how to handle that. You handle that by taking a break, by going inside, by letting yourself feel and observe what is present. We want to say something about your alignment on your planet. And we do not want to trigger anyone, but it has to be said. Your 1st of January is one of the most misaligned places to start a new year. Ha! And all of the intuitives will feel that it is not the start. Like we just shared in the beginning, it is not the true start of the year. The Chinese New Year is already very aligned when it comes to living more with the moon cycles and basing on the celestial alignment, finding the right place every year, again and again. Starting on a new moon as well is of high value. And this is especially true for the location of China on your planet. Now we actually, if you truly move into the energetics, every place on your planet has a slightly different start of the new year compared to the energy. But for the northern half, and especially on the Asian side, the Chinese New Year is of a great alignment, greater alignment than the 1st of January. Then if you also look at the astrological New Year, which is invented by the Greece philosophers and has their roots even way earlier in history, you see that their New Year, and that would be more of the New Year of Europe, would start at the end of March. And if you are living in Europe and even parts of Eastern US, you will notice that that energy is most present. The energy of the new start is most present when the astrological year starts. Again, we advise to find the nearest new moon. But if you look at the rest of the world and the southern half of your Earth, you will notice that there are in every location different dates where you just feel it's the actual start of the new year. And even though it is widely celebrated the 1st of January, it has no roots in wisdom. It has no roots in any sense of alignment when it comes to your true nature. So yes, celebrate. Of course, celebration is always a good thing. But know that your true north and your true new year is placed elsewhere. And to find that alignment, you will become so much happier. You will feel a certain flow in life. We are therefore beyond grateful that you tune in to this message, because this information can be more widely known and understood, but especially lived by. It might sound nice to the mind that is learning about spiritual alignment to hear all of these things, but you will truly receive the gifts when you try it out for yourself, when you live by it. And it can be just an experiment. Try this year to make your own and initiate your own new year whenever the time feels right. It might be now, it might be in February, it might be in March, it might be in June, it might be in September. Let your intuition guide your way and find your alignment. When it says rest, please rest. You will do everyone a service by resting, even though the mind wants to continue. When it says play, please play, even though the mind says you need to be more serious and adult-like to fix your life. When it says connect, please connect and get intimate with yourself and others. It will know your path, your unique path. Listening to the outside for guidance and trying things that other people have tried will become harder and harder on your planet. Your life will become so chaotic up until the moment you start to say, okay, this is gonna be too much. My only resort is to resort back into myself. In doing so, you will remember who you are, what you came here to do. And as soon as that clarity is there, the chaos, the storms, the shifts, they disappear or they don't have any effect on you any longer. This is a way that is true for all human beings, and it needs to be remembered. Thank you, dear one, for tuning in to our January 2025 update. We are beyond grateful that you are aligning with our frequency. In the Akashic Records, we give you a big embrace. Whatever you feel is most aligned in your intuition, we support. You can always ask for help, guidance, and life force on your path. In the highest love, we wish you an incredible start of your January. I invite you to take a big deep breath in. And slowly come out of the session. This is such a special message to me, because I feel for years now that we're not fully aligned with how I thought the calendar was. And what I love so much about the Akashic Records every time is how they always place the power back in your hands. And there's so many people that claim they know the way, but nobody knows your way. Only you know your way. And I feel it's so beautiful and nice to start living up to that. You know, I just started. I wish I started earlier, but I just started to fully live my way. And it's just so good. And also all the courses and everything that I'm going to produce will never be, look at me, I know the way. It really means Now, how can you find your way? Even if it's completely different, we have to start learning how to listen and honoring that. I rather teach you how to listen to your own way than say, hey, this is the path. And this message is so in line with that. So I thank you for being here. I'm planning to create a beautiful, elevating container that is completely in line actually with this message. It's going to be a container where there will be weekly Akashic transmissions like this. There will be practice sessions. There will be the availability to learn how to read your own Akashic records. And we will go through the most easy to use and impactful tools like AI, different ways to ease your life with technology. Because we're entering the age of Aquarius and technology and innovation is going to happen. And I rather teach you how to surf the waves of technology rather than to be overwhelmed by it. So this elevating container, it will start the 15th of January. But there will be 2 sessions, and these sessions will be for all the people who are interested. You can sign up to these sessions in the link below. There will be a sign up form, and there will be a little gift on the other side. And that gift will already help you align yourself and listen to your own truth very much. So if you are interested in joining that elevating spaceship, I will tell you more in these sessions. For now, I wish you an incredible, beautiful January, full of love, full of taking the time to listen to yourself and to feel your system, what it needs, and to just give that to yourself. Man, that's so much more important to whatever other person says to you. Thank you for being here. This was truly a special year for me, and I'm very happy to kick off another year of energy updates, more content, more wisdom coming through, more courses. I'm so curious what I'm gonna learn. I wish you a happy new year, and I see you in the next one. Much love.